Hello friends, welcome to another Cold War Prepper Pantry Haul. So I want to focus in on, I finally got an INSCOM patch. I don't know why I didn't have any. So I was ASA from 1971, October 70, until they merged with MI in 1977. And when ASA, the top one there, merged with MI, then it became the Intelligence and Security Command, INSCOM. So this is the patch that I wore when I was at Field Station Augsburg in Germany in 1977 to 1980. Then from 1981 to 84, I wore the USACS patch, and then 84 to 80, back to INSCOM for most of 84. And then 85, 86, I wore the 207th MI Brigade out of Stuttgart, Germany. And then I need USACS again because I was assigned to instructor duty the second time at Fort Huachuca from 1987 until 1991 when I retired. But anyhow, so I'm really happy that I finally got that INSCOM patch. Now I need my USACS patch. So you would think I would have one having been assigned there for 6 years. But anyhow, I want to start this one off a little bit on a different venue than what we normally do, and just going straight into the pantry haul. And I would like to welcome all of you new preppers and people who are just getting into this. You're afraid of whatever is going on and you want to get prepared, and you're thinking about doing that. So I just want to offer you some tips, some ideas, and encouragement, and then I want to give you recognition. I am so happy that you've joined us and that you're doing something to bring about a positive outcome in your life for the future. I think it was 2011 to 2014, there was a television show on National Geographic called Doomsday Preppers. Southern Prepper 1 was a judge for that. Angry Truth, Jason, they did one of the shows on him. So I mean, it's been a while. There are some great people on it, some great things. In my opinion, I think National Geographic did it to kind of make us look bad, extremists and everything else. But the one thing I did like about it that I think that we as preppers fail to do, and you'll see it a lot, is we fail to say what it is that we're prepping for. There are so many different things out there, and each one requires a different form of preparedness. Financial security, you prep a little bit different than you do nuclear fallout, than you do from internal strife, civil strife, than you will for terrorist activity, than you will for a CME, than you will for coronal mass, I just said that, coronal mass ejection versus EMP versus, there are so many different things that you have to prepare for. So I would say pick the ones that you think are most likely to occur and prepare for them. I'm fairly certain that with the $33 trillion in debt and inflation as it is, and just continual printing of money, we're going to be back in the 1929 to 1940 Great Depression era. And so, to me, precious metals mean more than they do to somebody who is thinking EMP. So number one, pick a scenario or two. Number two, think that scenario through all the way to the end. Develop a timeline. So you're going to have the initial event. You're going to have some chaos. You're going to have a little bit of recovery. You're going to have rebuilding. And, so we kind of are going to go through, in some instances, something kind of like the feudal ages to the Wild West, and then from the Wild West, into markets and everything else. So, at some point in those markets, you're going to need something that's going to be something like money. And of course, the oldest is going to be gold and silver. But anyhow, think that through. Think through your event all the way through, from when it happens until when we're coming back to some sense of normality. Prep for the entire duration of whatever it is. Use the rule of threes. So 3 minutes without air, 3 hours in inclement weather, extremely freezing or extremely hot weather or whatever. 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. So, kind of use those as your priorities when you're planning for stuff. The next thing is, as you're planning your food storage, I'm going to ask you to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, when do you think you're going to need the food? Number 2, how long are you going to be dependent upon the food? And then number 3, how long before normality returns so that you will have crops or stock or whatever to feed you? So those 3 questions are going to dictate what kind of food you buy and how you stockpile. Now, remember, I've been doing this for quite a long time. As a matter of fact, I had to give away everything I had when we got married in 1984, and I went to Germany. So with my new wife, and just the government wouldn't ship all my preps. So until I retired from the military, every 3 years I had to give away everything I'd prepped for. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. As you look at what I do on a weekly basis and what I'm prepping, remember that the vast majority are replacement items for things that I have in rotation. I will tell you when something is brand new. It's a new thing I'm adding, but start thinking about what is it that I need, when am I going to need it, how long am I going to need it for. So with that, here's this week's Prepper Pantry Haul. I showed you this in a previous video that this is going to be how we wash dishes in the future. So this is just adding to my stockpile of washing pots and pans in the future. We have a dishwasher we use right now, so this is going to be all for future use. Stopped by the LDS store, the Provident Living store today, and picked up another 20-year package of non-fat dry milk. I like to have 4 boxes of these and 4 boxes of these for the girls. And so this is getting me back up to 4 boxes of each, and these go back on the bottom so that I'm pulling from the top. We use these to mix with their dry food, and this is on Tuesdays and Fridays they get a pouch, and then this is on Sunday they get one of their own little treats, let's call it. This is brand new. I picked up a combustible gas leak detector, and this is because of the ice storms that we're having here in Texas. I wanted to be able to monitor to make sure that my propane, butane, liquefied natural gas don't leak, and that I can tell if there's a leak or not. Picked up another pound of red beans just to add to the preps. Picked up an indoor-outdoor thermometer humidity indicator. So this is a remote control. So the sensor part goes outdoors, and then the digital readout stays indoors. Picked up 2 more seasonings, so a taco seasoning mix and a chili seasoning mix, so we can fix those things in a post-apocalyptic world. 1 package of Martha Smith's just add water Mexican style cornbread. Some ginger for some of the Asian recipes that I'll be showing in my 1-minute videos. We used 1 can of diced green chili, so I bought 2, 1 to replace it and 1 to add to increase. And that's what I encourage you to do. Buy 1 of something each week just to add to what you have. I was trying to do the math in my head, but if we just take since Y2K, 23 years times 12 months, that's 230 plus 26 is 256 cans. If you just had 1 can of something each week, you would have almost 260 cans of something for your storage right now. I found this is new, and I found it and I got excited about it. I love salsa verde, so I bought a can of salsa verde so I can add that to my red sauce. This is preventive, and I want to stockpile as much of this as I can. This is for my foot powder, basically, preventive foot powder. I swore by it when I was on active duty. This is remedial, or fixing if you get some sort of a fungus or anything like that on your feet. Picked up another can of butane fuel. This is for the indoor stove. A bottle of Crisco. Keep this stored in a dark, cool place. It can go rancid. I always use the smallest possible bottle. I know that it costs a little bit more, but the way I look at it is once I open it, it's going to go rancid fairly quickly. So the smaller I have, then that's the less opportunity of it to go rancid. We used up a gallon of distilled water, so I got to replace that. Let me see what else. Oh, and then I got a new book in, The Prepper's Canning and Preserving Bible. So this is new. I ran out. I cannot find any Yoder's canned bacon. And so I said, well, how can I get bacon? How can I preserve bacon in a post-apocalyptic world? I found some videos on how to salt cure bacon, which is what they did back in the Royal Navy and the U.S. Navy and everything a long, long time ago. So I said, I'm going to learn how to can, how to salt, and how to preserve. And so I did not get any salt today. I wanted to, but I just did not find what I wanted. But that's where we are. So give me your ideas, your suggestions, your thoughts, what you've accomplished in the last week in the comments down below, because we're all in this together so we can come out the other end together. Please be kind, polite, and respectful to each other, because togetherness is the key. Take care. Stay safe.